Welcome back. Today's video is the crypto market update. So I'm going to go through some cryptos. I'm going to give you some altcoins on what I think the performance is going to be. And we're going to give an overall economy overview of what's happening right now because crypto is bleeding. And I think it's going to continue to bleed for a little bit longer. But before I get into it, if you like altcoins, I review them a couple times a week. And once a week, I cover the market update. If you like the sound of that, consider subscribing. And let's get started right now with the crypto market update. So we'll start off with Bitcoin because that still dictates the market overall. And we can see Bitcoin starting to find some short-term problems at the moment. Now, we did do a pretty good job with Bitcoin, obviously breaking through that 25K region, and it looks like we kind of want to test 25K-ish. So you can see a lot of support coming into Bitcoin on this candle right here. This is the candle I was talking about in my previous market update. When I said Friday, 12th of May, you can see very high volume coming into the market, and you can see support coming into the market, indicating by this high wick, this wick on the bottom there, the tail end of it, showing that there was a high amount of selling, support came to the market, a lot of money came to the market, support pushed the price back up. The problem is we didn't get much of a bounce after that, and this can sometimes happen where the support comes in, but you just don't get enough momentum to push away and move away too much. So if we have a look at some examples previously with Bitcoin getting some major support, you can see in my previous video, I still got my arrow here, that was massive support coming in with this candle here, right? That one right there, okay, which was on the 9th of March. You can see high candle, a lot of volume coming into it. And you can see we just went on this rampant roar afterwards and we broke past, call it 22.5K. We broke past it, pushed all the way up to about almost 30K or just above 30K before coming back down. So that's what's happening now with this candle. We've got volume coming in, we've got support coming in, not a lot of volume, not ultra high volume, but above average volume coming from this volume bar here, which means that we did get support, not a lot of support, but still a good amount of support. Now we're finding support on it right now. So you can see another bounce on roughly that $25,807 mark, which is that red horizontal line right here. So you can see that is acting as some support for now, but it's short-term support and we have to expect that. If we don't bounce off of it, we're probably going to start breaking through and start making our way down to about 25K. I do see 25K at the next area of support because that's this breakout bar here. And you can say that's indicated by the other horizontal line across there. So that's where Bitcoin is at the moment, bleeding heavily at the moment, support coming into the market, but it really looks like we're going to start breaking through support barriers if you start looking at some other charts. What's another chart to look at is your US dollar strength. And you can see we've had several days up with US dollar strength. This is not what you want to see if you are hoping for a bull run to come into 2023, which I've always said probably won't happen. But you can see support coming into the market previously at this candle here. So we had early February, we had support come in. You can see US dollar dominance rose and then stopped at March. March, you had the downfall. And now we found support on it from the 13th of April and once again here on early May. So you can see support coming in there a few times for the US dollar strength before now breaking through and going up. So expect this to continue to go up and indicating strength to the US dollar, which is a defensive asset and thus making Bitcoin, altcoins, everything hurting more in the process at the moment. Why is this happening? You can say interest rates, economy, blah, 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 blah. You don't really need to know why. You can go down that rabbit hole if you want. All you need to do is just know that this is going up, defensive assets going up, so risk on assets going down until this changes, which might happen, maybe some resistance here at this high swing top there or around the 107 mark. That might be resistance as well where we start to get there. But that's going to take at least another 2-3 weeks to play out before we start to maybe find resistance and go back down. But the good news is Bitcoin did break past 20K, indicating strength. And it takes a lot of money to push Bitcoin past these resistance barriers. So we've had a breakthrough here and we've broken out of that consolidation. We did break past down, but the thing is we've got so much support on the downside from Bitcoin that we can afford to go down a lot with Bitcoin, and it still proves in a macro point of view, it's still in a very good strength. So that's the good thing about it. If we have a look at ETH, the king of the alts, ETH has had some struggling at the moment. It hasn't been able to push as well as Bitcoin, but it still remains in an overall much better accumulation range than Bitcoin. So you can see we've just been this accumulation range for basically the better part of a year. If I zoom right out, and this is basically on a daily, if I put it onto a weekly, you will see that we've just basically been going between this range here. So from basically June 2022, you can see we've just been going between this channel, which is a really nice channel to be in because it means that we're not breaking through support, but we're also not breaking through resistance. So it's just a nice area that the whales are dollar cost averaging into their cryptos, accumulating it, absorbing all the supply in the market and then pushing off once we're ready, probably in 2024. And if we have a look at total market cap 1, this is on a weekly chart as well. So each candle represents a week. And you can see as well, gone through this nice trading range, Bitcoin really helping this market push past it. So a bit of a better way to actually look at this is total market cap 2. And that will show you a little bit more of what's happening in the crypto market. Still trading within this range. And this is what I mean by we're still in a macro point of view, a very, very good point to be dollar cost averaging because we're still managing to find support since June 2022. So we're going on there. There's the high from August 22, and we're just going between this range, right? Just moving, which is fine. That means the whales are buying up this crypto. They're buying up these assets at very attractive prices, ready for the next leg up. That's why I don't believe everything you see here in the news, because the news doesn't know how to read charts. The whales are just buying their activity, and you can see that. So even if this dips down a little bit, you've still got support here at around that 500 billion mark. And even if it breaks, you've still got support there at that 427 billion mark. So you still got a lot of support waiting to be support if it starts to get to that level, and it's fine because it will most likely bounce off. If it breaks it, then we have to reconsider things. But because this has been happening for basically a year, that further makes indication that your probability is actually quite high that this really is just accumulating. So we're not breaking past. You can see previously when we were going up, you can see we came down very, very fast. So the fact that we still haven't come down even after a year indicates strength in this market, even though you might not believe it. And the same thing with total market cap 3, still trading in this range, right? Still trading in the range. So this will be its range for the foreseeable future. And these are really good times to dollar cost average. Would I dollar cost average into alts? You probably already know my answer. Do not start dollar cost averaging into altcoins. You just don't know which altcoin is going to do well. You just don't. So you have to wait for it to push through and then do it. If the bull market was going to start now, the only good altcoin would actually be the star of the show, to be honest, is just rndr. This one has been on an absolute tear. I made a video on this one. I'll link it above, but this has been a crypto that has done very, very well. Now, again, this is on a weekly, but if I move it to a daily, you can still see strength coming into this market. And what do you see here? A wick on the downside, meaning that they're still supporting this price. Prices are coming down, but they're pushing this price back up because they like rndr. Why do they like rndr? Who knows? Maybe you know. If you do, comment below. If not, you can see a chart. It's getting support. It's getting pushed off. So this is one of the best altcoins you can get at the moment. Another one, and again, I've done videos on this one, but these continue to be strong. You've got injected protocol. Now, this one has not been as strong as rndr, but you can see that this one's still remaining much, much, much higher than when he opened 2023 with. So 2023 was basically here. So basically it was about $1.40, and now it's at the high of, call it $10. Before resistances come in, the only thing I don't like about this, you're seeing major weakness coming in. So your lower tops and your lower lows, okay? So not really good, but this is still so much more higher than where it was at the start of 2023, that even though you are getting some short-term weakness, this still is looking like one of the good, strong bulls for the next run, should it begin relatively soon. So if altcoins start to rally on, rndr, injected protocol, these will be your two favorites that I like to see a lot. And I've made already quite a good chunk of cash from them, to be honest, because they're just always strong. And you can see sometimes they have these downturns, but they continue to push up. They continue to push up. Injector protocol's a little bit more risky, but until we start breaking significant levels, injector protocol still remains a really, really good one. APT, I did a video on this one not too long ago, and I said that this one was starting to break significant levels and continue to go down. I'll link that above, and lo and behold, it is going down. We just broke $8, so be careful with this one until you see a nice breakout bar or a lot of volume coming in to support the market. So some short-term weakness for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but overall, once again, macro point of view, strong. Some altcoins, rndr, injector protocol, looking good. Cryptos like APT still looking bad. Most altcoins are still bad, so be careful with them, but there's probably like 3 or 4 good ones, and I've already just given you 2 of them. So have a look at them, see if you like them, have your risk profile on, so if you have a stop loss in place in case things go bad. But until then, everyone, I hope this video helped, and I will catch you on the next altcoin review.